Hello everybody, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How you guys doing? What's popping? I hope you guys are doing absolutely fine. So if you're new to this channel, you are very welcome. Please take a seat on the front row. You're very much welcome. Please kindly click on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell right beside it in order to be updated on my new videos. And for the returning subscribers, you all know how we do it. You're the real MVPs. You are very much welcome back. Now in today's video, I am, going to be telling you guys about something which is quite personal. I thought about it quite a couple of times before I decided to, make the video. Anyways, I'm just going to dive right in without any further ado. So today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys about how I was expecting baby number 2 during a pandemic, guys. You heard me right. So basically, my husband and I have been married for a while now, but in 2019, that is when we decided to do like our white wedding. That was December, obviously. And after that, we came back to Dubai in January. And we had so many plans. We had to travel to Paris for our honeymoon. Like basically, we just had so much that we wanted to do in 2020. And round figure year 2020, we just felt like, you know what, there's going to be a whole lot that 2020 would bring. Little did we know, in fact 2020 actually did bring a whole lot. Little did we know that it was going to be a whole lot on the negative. Like, we had no idea. If you had told us this a couple of months before, when we went to Cameroon for our white wedding, I'm sure we would have maybe hissed or, whatever. That's fine. That's done. So guys, we came back from our wedding January. Actually, I got pregnant, and should I share this or not? Anyways, you guys are my family members. So yeah, this is my story. I got pregnant in January and the baby passed. I had a miscarriage after 3 weeks. I cried. My husband was there for me. I think it was just the stress and a lot of pressure that I was putting on myself in terms of, the things that we actually wanted to achieve. Then we actually wanted to have a baby again. So we tried again, and God was so merciful. I got pregnant again in March, and before you could know it, boom, we went into a lockdown. Like, everything literally went from 0 to 100 real quick. I was like, wait, what's this? Everybody just started talking about, one disease from China that is killing people terribly. Okay, at that time it felt like it was a thing of China, Then we started seeing Europe, more countries in Asia, Europe, Italy, people were dropping dead on a daily basis, and I was like, whoa, what is this? This isn't funny anymore. When we got on lockdown in March, sorry, I'm juggling up a lot. When we got on lockdown in March, we were home. We were asked to work from home in my company. Like, everybody was on unpaid leave. We were just home chilling. It was fun and all. We used to do a lot of TikToks. We used to just, play lots of games. Anyways, like, there were so many people in the house. It was actually fun and all, and the pregnancy wasn't really showing. April came and nothing. There is still a lockdown. May came, it's still same, and it's getting even worse. Like, they have to sanitize the whole area. They're asking people not to step out of their homes after 8 p.m. You can't step out of home without a mask. Like, I was dealing with all of that. And first trimester boo ha ha ha. If you're an expecting mom, or if you've been a mom before, then you definitely know what I'm talking about. So I'm dealing with all of that stress, and the fact that, there is a lot of that's I'm dealing with all of that stress and the pressure that it is putting on me. And then we're like, you know what, it's fine, maybe this will pass, let's give it another 1 month or so. But no, it wasn't getting any better. And before we noticed it, boom, my husband lost his job because of the COVID. Like, he was literally called to sign another contract extending him for a longer unpaid leave. That is equals to losing a job, right? And then in my company, everybody's talking about salary cuts, and we are living in freaking Dubai, guys. Life here is so expensive, you know? And my husband, doesn't have a job, and my company's talking about salary cuts, all of that uncertainty of how are we gonna cope. Of course, we have some savings, yeah, but at that kind of time, you don't know what tomorrow holds, you don't know what the future holds, so you don't want to touch your savings, right? So dealing with all of that uncertainty and all of that pressure, then I was pregnant as well with the morning sicknesses. It was terrible. As if that was not enough, when I got when we're planning for the white wedding, that's prior to 2020, we actually did send my son home with my mom so that we'll be able to plan properly, because we had to do a lot of shopping up left. And we're like, okay, when we just go to Cameroon for the wedding, we will get him and return with him back to Dubai. Okay, so that's how we go for the wedding. Sorry about the noise, the kids are playing inside. So that's how we went for the wedding. And after the wedding, we're like, okay, rather than bringing him back, oh Jesus, rather than bringing him back, let's just go back to Dubai. We'll go for our honeymoon. Then my mom is actually gonna come back with him to Dubai. Okay, now I think that was a very bad decision, because we came back to Dubai. We didn't go for any honeymoon because I was pregnant and I lost the baby, and there was a lot going on in terms of emotions and everything. Let's put the babies in. So yeah, there was a lot going on in terms of emotions, the stress, the everything. And then boom, corona, boom, global lockdown, and people losing their jobs left, right, center. And to me, I was like, whoa, did I just walk into a horror movie or what? And then because of the lockdown, we are not even able to bring our son from Cameroon because borders are closed. Nobody goes in, nobody goes out, only repatriation flights at some point. It was just so terrible. Big girls don't cry. It was just so much to take. My son was back home. I couldn't see him. It was crazy. We're home. My company was talking about salary cuts. There was just a lot to deal with. And I was, constantly, I was actually sick. Like, morning sickness had never ever been that terrible for me. Remember, I've been a mom before, so I can handle these things, right? I'm tough. I can handle these things, but this one, it was terrible. And then, after some time, the border restrictions eased off. My husband actually got called back to his workplace. He worked for 1 month. Then they said it became worse, and then boom, again they're talking about second wave, and then he's home again, and it was just terrible for us. And then, as if that was not enough, there was like a series of terrible things happening to us. It was a lot to take in. It was just a lot to take in, and I was heavily pregnant then, and it wasn't easy. And at some points I felt like maybe I'm just gonna drop dead, maybe I won't make it. Then there was so many bad news around. My friend who was telling me about, okay, first I lost a cousin who's in America because of the COVID. You know, there was one guy, he trended a lot on social media because he did a video and saying, oh, Corona no dey kill black man. And the next thing I heard, he was dead. I mean, it was just a lot to take in. It was a lot of emotions to deal with. And then a friend of mine just walked into the house one day. There is this favorite YouTuber of mine that I used to love a lot. May God bless her memory. She's from the UK. She was actually pregnant. She had an amazing husband. Like, they always will document their family, and it was so beautiful to watch. So my friend just walks into the house one day and she's like, yo, this girl, she just passed, and she was like, what, 6 or 7 months pregnant. That put me under so much pressure. I remember that day I walked into the washroom and I just wanted to, you know, just pee. And then the next thing, I saw lots of blood oozing because I was actually stressed. So my husband took me to the hospital. Turns out it was just stress. Everything was all right. My doctor gave me a couple of meds, which I took. And, you know, one thing, everything was, you know, fine. Fast forward to my last trimester, it was actually very difficult. Around August, the borders were already open for us here in Dubai. The government was actually doing a whole lot for, you know, life to get back to normal. Like, you can't go anywhere without a mask. If you do, they give you a fine of about 3,000 dirhams. We're talking about something between $700 to $800 thereabouts. Yeah. So yeah, that made the society quite, you know, it actually limited the risk of the corona spreading so much compared to other countries. So by August, the borders were open, people were ready to go back to normal lives. We're asked to return back to the office. I returned back to the office, and after 2 weeks, my manager noticed that I was pregnant, and he told me I could go back and go work from home. How nice is that? Right? So yeah, I actually went back home. I started working from home till the end of the year, and that was a very, very difficult part of the year, not only because it was my last trimester, but equally because there was a lot going on in my family. I don't know if I ever will be able to muster the courage to talk about the things that happened in my family that time. It was just so stressful, and, you know, putting all of that on me, who was pregnant. I remember on the day I went for my delivery, I actually did go for my delivery. In fact, how the whole thing happened was, you know, during my first delivery was very, very different. I didn't labor. The doctor said I had high blood pressure or whatever, so she actually scheduled a delivery date for me. I went in, they put me on the they gave me an epidural, so basically all of the pain went away. So basically, for the first pregnancy, I was put under an epidural, and, you know, before I noticed, I mean, I didn't experience labor pains. Then they took me in for an operation, so I had a CS. But for the second baby, I was like, you know what, I want to have a VBAC. For those of you who do not know what a VBAC is, a VBAC simply means vaginal birth after a C-section, a cesarean section. So for the second one, I was like, for Adalia, I was like, I want to have a VBAC. I was doing lots of exercises, trying to stay healthy amidst the pandemic, the lockdown, and all of its negative, all of the negativity that it brought. You know, I was just trying to focus my mind on being healthy, you know, because I wanted to get a VBAC. And then guess what happens? I sleep one morning, and my doctor actually gave me for the expected delivery date, she actually did give me the 24th of December, and I was like, no, I'm not going to spend Christmas Day in the hospital. So I started watching YouTube videos on how to induce labor and all of that. And I said to my husband, My doctor has said 24th, but I'm not going to give birth on the 24th. I have 2 days in mind, and it's going to either be the 19th of December or the 21st of December. Lo and behold, guys, you have to start calling me prophetess. But anyways, lo and behold, on the 21st, that's 20th breaking 21st morning, I woke up and I felt one weird sensation. I'm like, oh no, did I pee pee on the bed? No, I didn't do this. So the bed was kind of wet. I stepped down, I switched on the light, and then I just noticed that, there was, no, I didn't actually step down. So I shook my husband. I was like, babe, switch on the light. It feels like I pee on the bed. And he jumped out of bed. This man is so hilarious. So he jumped out of bed and he's like, oh, you did pee. Are you sure you did this? Why would you do a thing like that? So he jumped out of bed, he switched on the light, and then I saw myself in a pool of blood. My emotions it just felt like a huge adrenaline rush. I can't explain what I was feeling. Then instantly I started feeling lots of contractions, like severe ones. So I pick up the phone, I call my friend Grace. She's actually my very good friend. She's a mom of 3, so obviously she's got more experience than me. So I call her and I'm asking her, what am I supposed to do? This is the situation right now. And then she's like, just stay calm. I'm at work now. You have to try to, go through as much labor pains as possible while you're home. Then when you walk into the hospital, boom, you just, deliver easily. I was like, okay, let me do it like a pro. I started walking the staircase as per her recommendation and the lots of YouTube videos I've watched. I started walking the staircase back and forth, and the pain became so excruciating. So I called my doctor and I'm like, bonjour docteur, j'ai vu le sang partout ce matin et tout. Sorry, I have to say this in French. My doctor she's actually French. So let me just translate this. What I simply meant was, hello doctor, I saw blood everywhere this morning and I'm feeling pain already. And she's like, bah ma chérie, t'as vu le sang et t'es toujours à la maison? Non. Prends un taxi, si t'es seule, commence à venir à l'hôpital tout de suite. And I'm like, okay, why is this woman asking me to come? So basically she's like, get a taxi if you're by yourself, if your husband is not home or if nobody's home, just get a taxi right now and start rushing to the hospital. And I'm like, wait, why is she asking me to rush to the hospital? And I was confused. I hung up. I called her again. She's like, qu'est-ce que je t'ai dit? Prends un taxi et viens à l'hôpital tout de suite. Quand tu arrives, va directement aux urgences. And I'm like, okay, is something wrong? So she's like, get a cab, come to the hospital immediately. Once you get there, go to the emergency room. So yeah, that is how I got to the hospital. I tried my best. It was like 12 hours of labor. I actually did get to 6 centimeters dilated. I was proud of myself. But the contraction pains were terrible. They were coming every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes. It was terrific. Long story short, all of my efforts were in vain because they asked me if I wanted an epidural. I said no. Everybody knows that birth in Dubai is very expensive. So she was like, ne te dérange pas ma chérie, ton assurance va couvrir tout cela. Like my insurance is going to cover everything. I was like, no, this is not about insurance. I want to have my baby like a Hebrew woman. I want to push. She just started laughing. I was like, I don't want an operation. Then she came close to me, she just put her hands in my hair. I kind of like that. It's very soothing. Is that a thing for you guys as well? So she kind of like was putting her hands in my hair and she was just telling me, ma chérie, fais-moi confiance, dis-moi pourquoi tu ne veux pas une césarienne. Like, tell me why you don't want another C-section. I was like, because we only 2 children, myself and my baby sister, and I want to have more than 2 children. I heard that with cesarean section, the maximum number of children you can have is 3. And she just started laughing. She's like, that's your only problem? I'm like, yes. She's like, okay, don't worry. The medical field has been quite evolving. And right now you can have up to 6 C-section deliveries. And I was like, wait, what? Are you for real? Are you telling me this because you just want to go operate on me right now? She's like, no, that's the truth. So if that's your only worry, get in there, we'll get this done with. I was like, okay, but I'm not doing that without my husband. So actually my husband had gone to get something for me. Then she had to call him. Everybody at the hospital was calling him. So yeah, he got back to the hospital, dressed up into, you know, the theater, whatever, their garments. Then the operation was done, and the following day I was right on my feet. After 3 days I got discharged, and my husband paid how much? Can you guess? 50 dirhams only. Now prior to that, do you know why it is so funny, guys? Because since he was home, remember I told you he was home without a job, right? So he kept saying to himself, oh my god, these people in your company better not fire you now, because this is the time we need this insurance more than anything in the world. And yeah, that was another reason for my stress as well, because I was thinking, if my company was going to be doing you know, was going to let go of more staff, and what if I'm amongst those staff? Then I lose my insurance, my visa, and everything. For the visa, it's not a big deal. We know how we can go about things. But the insurance, I couldn't afford to lose it at that particular point in time. So I had to double my efforts, work extra hard so that I can keep my job. Because you know I deal in sales, right? Yeah, so if you're not hitting your target, you're off the job. So yeah, that was basically how everything went. I just wanted to lay it bare with you guys today on how I had baby number 2 during a pandemic. I hope you guys loved my video. Don't mind that I'm smiling right now. It was actually not funny during that time. It was very stressful. I didn't even know how I would be able to cope when the baby would come. And it is 6 months now, and I would say the only reasons why I was able to cope and go through all of this successfully, I would give it up to 2 reasons. 1, my God, because I prayed a whole lot during that period. And 2, my husband. He was actually very, very supportive. I know that I can be very grumpy and, you know, very annoying sometimes. And worst of all, when I'm pregnant, if I want A, I want A. And if you try to give me the A with a little bit of a curve on it, no, I don't want it. You're getting me a straight A. So I know that it must have taken him a whole lot of patience to deal with me, because I know I can be quite a handful. Yes, I said it with my full chest. Anyways, guys, I am happy that I was able to share this with you guys. Remember at the start of this journey, I mentioned we're family members, right? So I was going to be, you know, gradually giving you guys more insight into my story and who I am as a person, really. And I feel like the experiences of 2020 actually did shape me into this full-grown, mature woman, because the things I dealt with last year, I could never ever imagine I'd be able to deal with them. So yeah, this is just me laying it out bare to you guys, and let me know what you guys think in my comment section. Do you think like, oh, Welly is such a strong girl? Do you think like, oh, anybody can do that? I mean, I respect your opinion. Let me know in the comment section. And And if you have watched from the beginning right up till this stage, all I want to say is thank you so much for sticking with this girl. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking my videos, giving them a thumbs up always. Thank you for putting your comments down below, and thank you for the shares that I have been seeing. I see you. Thank you for everything, and I appreciate you guys. If you love more videos like this, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, I'll catch you in the next video. From my end, it is always much love.